All right, good evening, everyone. Had a request in the Slack chat room for an extreme stream. Going to do a quick extreme stream. It's not going to be super long. Probably about a half an hour or so. So nothing too crazy. Nothing super official. Yeah, just jumping on here. So we got Saeed, Andre, Martin, Tyler, Cribby. Interesting name. Polly, what's up, Polly? Ian, how you doing? Greg, BW, Ted, in Missouri now, 75 and dark. I would imagine is fairly dark over there. What's up, Aram? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Polly believes crypto is a scam. Why would I want to buy Bitcoin if I can fork it? It's open source. Well, Polly, I'll go ahead and take all your cryptos off your hand. I'm just trying to help you out, my friend. Wow, Ted, fast with the extreme stream or the super chat today. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, sir. Nacho Man in the house. Nacho Man. I own it. Hey, Pantham, how you doing? Man. All right. Wait a little bit longer. See if our Pete was calling for the extreme stream. We'll see if he's available. It says he's sleeping on Slack, but we'll see. Master of Fun. Fun or FUD? Which one? My last video was the super FUD video. I thought I'd get more views than that based off of a super FUD video, but I guess not. Is a Slack group for paying members? No, it is not. The Slack group is just a general chat room that I put together for like-minded traders. So, yeah, you can just go ahead and head to my website. Let's see what I got up here. Yep, real-crypto.com. And you can see here, enter your name, your last name, your email, and your trading experience. And you hit subscribe here. I haven't even sent out an initial newsletter yet, so that's a bit misleading. But the free chat room is the important part right there, and that is the Slack chat room. So yeah, feel free to sign up for that. Got a good group of guys and girls in there. 391 signed up as of late. Probably a good 30 to 50, maybe 60, people online at any given time. Chat's usually pretty good most days there. Our Pete is in the house. I did see our Pete. What's up there, my friend? Your extreme stream on your command there, my friend. So there we go. Yeah, and Bitcoin popping up here a little bit ago. Pretty much out of nowhere. You go to the 1 minute chart and it's like, oh, all right, Bitcoin, that's cool. You can just pop up from 73.84 to 74.62 and then kind of chop around up here a little bit. And that's what it's doing, chopping up, putting in a bull flag type of a pattern. Hit the like button, people. I guess I should have been saying that myself, huh? Smash the like button. Go ahead and hit that. Go ahead and comment down below. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin likes it when you comment. YouTube likes it when you comment. Also, YouTube likes it when you share the video. So if you guys see any of my videos, please comment. Say something fun and snarky. And yeah, share the video with someone. I don't know who. Just someone. Share it. Damn it. Share the video. All right, let's get to some analysis. Like has been smashed by Ben, so you can't hit the like button anymore. Ben smashed it. Come on, Ben. You're just supposed to gently press it. Gently. Comment shouldn't be disabled. Gently press the like button. Just gently. Gently depress the like button so others can use it too. I don't think I've disabled comments. Either way. All right, let's take a look at a couple of coins here. We got Bitcoin here popping up. Here's the 2-hour chart of Bitcoin, kind of a longer term. We see we have this little pop-up out here from the lows just above 7,000 and popping up, going sideways, had a little bit of crazy action, and this is probably going to continue for a little bit. We're probably going to rise up here. Ted, what are you doing? What are you doing there? Smashing the super chats, my friend. I appreciate that. So we've been talking about on this pop-up recently, potentially getting to this 200 period moving average. Right now looks like that has undercut this most recent low, which was at 79.32, I think it said. 79.42, undercutting that there. You can see the volume here, going to the upside, already decreasing quite substantially. 13 minutes left in this 2-hour candle. We'll see if we can get more maybe in the next candle as well. And there's a couple here. So Boo-Right talking about HPB. On KuCoin. Oh, had some very nice tight sideways action right there for sure. Right there at the 42.68 level. Volume pretty good, not too bad there. Got in at 41.3. Yeah, good early breakout buy point right there, coming out of some tight sideways action, some nice curling action, a bit of a higher low. Yeah, pretty good buy there in HPV. HPB. Yeah, pretty good there. Thanks. We got a shout out there for TRX. Let's take a look at some TRX. Oh, TRX choppy action, pulling way back into undercutting the buy point of this most recent chart pattern. Actually, it looks like it may have, it didn't quite hit the target. It may have come close. Actually did hit the target, so yeah, right there, there's your target with TRX. So this hit the target, and then everything after that is pretty much good. What I mean by good is that it can do whatever it wants because its target was hit. So we were discussing TRX several days ago. We talked about an aggressive sell point was right here, and probably the most warranted sell point after hitting the target there for the head and shoulders. Also, this point right here would have been probably decent for a sell. There was a cup and handle in here for a potential move higher, albeit volume just stopped. You can see it increased here, and then there was no more buying. So it just rolled over right there. Yeah, not very good. What to do with IOTA here? Well, there's a bit of a bottoming candle happening right here. Actually, very interesting. You have an up thrust here that was sold off into, and then you have the sell-off continued, and it was bought back up. So a bit of a like two equilibrium pattern right here. Very interesting pattern. Let's go down to the 15-minute, kind of see if we can ascertain what's going on there. So that's mostly buying, that's mostly selling, buying, both. I think the more important point right now for me is that we're living underneath this 200 period moving average again on my 2-hour chart. This is a good determination of trend for me, or at least has been for the past while. So I would anticipate this to have much more choppy action and be trendless for quite some time based on the volume action, living under the 200 and living underneath the buy point. All of those are negatives. You just have to let TRX go right now. Just ignore it, to be quite frank with you. Really what we have to do while trading is view the trades that we take as, what am I looking for here? We're looking for very high quality trades. We're not looking for every single trade in the market, okay? And trading TRX after all of this technical BS really looks like forcing a trade to me. Looks like trying to make sense of something that's nonsensical. There's no sense here. There's really no rhyme or reason to most of this action after this, after this top was hit. And so you just have to let this one go and look for greener pastures. GNT finally, please initially got in during the power hour at 7,800. Let's look at GNT. ADA one that I'm looking at for some possible action here. Oh, the heck just flew into my glasses. That was weird. Got in at 7,800. Yeah, very nice there. Been flipping it. Yeah, back and forth up 10%. So we were looking at this candle a little bit ago. Was that on the 15-minute or was that on the 2-hour? That was on the 2-hour. Why does that? This looks different. Maybe it was Binance we were looking at. There we go. Okay, that's the right chart. Ending in 8 minutes. So this right here, guys, these two candles specifically, this one and this one, I've never really mentioned this before. This is a fairly rare pattern. Fairly rare pattern called railroad tracks. Okay, railroad tracks. Now this comes from stock trading. This is generally indicative of a top. This is generally indicative of a top. What it is it's two candles of approximately the same size, and this isn't exactly. You can see this one's a little bit doesn't come down quite as far, but the closes look like they're going to be really close. 7 minutes left in this. This is a 2-hour candle. This is a railroad tracks configuration, and I would just avoid GNT right now. I would take profits. It would really have to clear these most recent highs of the, looks like 9,020 Satoshi level would have to be a good level and on good volume, but we've had a lot of high volume here. I would call this move done at this point, to be quite frank with you. Technically, this basically, railroad tracks generally kill a move. There's not too many statistics out there about railroad tracks, and it's a very rare pattern. It doesn't happen extremely often. What it means is that you have a move to the upside that gets sold off into, and a move to the upside that gets sold off into with aggressive volume nonetheless. And that's what we have on both of these. So you can see this one here is the highest volume candle, you know, going back, well, all the way back towards this top, the opening of Binance. And so you can anticipate this move being done. I would just call this done and move on, to be honest with you, with GNT. That railroad tracks pattern right there, fairly rare, very good. Yeah, every time I've seen it, it's worked. I think there's one time I've seen it where it kind of came down based and continued, but usually not with such high volume. Saeed mentioning BCN, Bitcoin on Binance, 30% run up. Have I played it? I have not. Cheapest but most volatile coins. No, I have not. Let me. Oh yeah, 89 Satoshis. that's pretty cheap and volatile. The volume here looks pretty good. Actually, from a technical perspective, I'm not mad at this chart pattern whatsoever. Also known as a tweezer top. Yeah, I think I've heard that coin before. For some reason, railroad tracks just resonates with me though. But I think I've heard of the term tweezer top before as well. Nice to see someone else noticing that pattern. But yeah, this is not I'm not really mad at this at all. This is a very textbook bull flag. Nice volume on the upside. You know, decent volume here to, you know, right there. Good bottoming volume right there. Accumulation. So I think a break here probably would be good for the upside. Maybe 91 Satoshis, you know, for a move to the upside. Yeah, I'm not mad at this pattern. I don't care what this is, to be honest with you. Whoa, okay. Let's keep going here. So this thing has gotten, I guess I could hit auto. This thing got all the way up here. Even up to here was at 2,500 Satoshis. Holy crap. Wow. That's ridiculous. From 2,500 down to 80. Ooh. Talk about a dead coin. So, anyway, yeah, yeah, maybe take this for a bounce or two. I have not played this before, BCN, but it does look promising. The chart is the chart pattern's good. The volume is good. I'm not mad at this at all. You know, you see me trash a lot of coins based on chart patterns. Not this one. Not this one, but definitely a micro cap coin. 1 Satoshi is 4%. No doubt scary to play that thing. Hard to put a stop loss in with a 4% per Satoshi deal there. Chart, boy, you draw them squiggles. I tend not to draw squiggles so much as I draw straight lines. Really a straight line kind of guy there. What's up, JDS? How you doing? All right, TRX in a downtrend. Definitely, I would avoid that TRX chart. I'm just not a fan. We got CMT with the BTC. And will it touch the 3880 Satoshi again? CMT? 3880. Well, let's see. Let's go back and let's take auto off. Let's put a line at 3880. It's a pretty specific level. Come on, one more pixel down. It's not going to do it. Whatever. All right. So there's 3880. Will it ever touch it again? Ever? Will it ever touch it again? That wasn't your question, but so that's the prior high. There is a possibility that yes, it does come back and touch it. It had one retest here. You can see the retest here came in on very low volume, decent breakout. There is a possibility it comes back and retests it. It looks fairly happy up here though, being supported by this 50 period moving average. I can't say for sure it's going to test it on this leg right here, but it's definitely within the realm of possibility. 22% to the downside there. It could have a more definitive test. The volume here looks fairly toppish, which is why you're seeing this consolidation, and volume is still fairly high. We haven't really dried up considerably, showing there's still some distribution here. So it's possible it does touch it, but I can't make the case for it right now. If you do a measured move, it may get you there though. Yeah, so a measured move gets you down to those levels. Definitely is possible. I'm not quite sure why I have that specific question, but you know, it is possible. If you're looking to take profits, if that was your entry, maybe take profits on the next bounce or something like that. But if it gets below this 4830 level, 4830 to 4800 level, I would probably get out anyways. It's probably just going to break down a little further. You can always rebuy that thing back. Look at ADA USD initial entry and price target. All right, let's look at some ADA. So ADA is a coin we've been looking at for 2 days now, and it's been putting in this nice bull flag. Look at this nice volume action in ADA. I'm really interested in this coin. I've been waiting for it to get over a level. I have an alert placed coming through Binance, I think, but it's against Bitcoin. Yeah, it's against Bitcoin here. So here's my alert at 2860. That's not a buy order, that's an alert order, so I will be taking a look at it at that point. But you can see here Bitcoin, there's a bunch of volume, quite a bit of volatility though against Bitcoin. We had a big shakeout yesterday, twice actually. This big volume, look at this big volume counter. This was a huge bottom. This was a huge bottom right here. And then a subsequent another route to the downside that got bought up as well. But definitely a bull flag right here. I'm really liking this pattern. The fact that ADA is trying to get above this 200 period moving average on the 2-hour chart is bullish to me. Having very aggressive higher lows. Hopefully we can get a breakout, and hopefully it doesn't happen overnight right there. But sometimes these can do. I have a chart pattern that's called a gooseneck, and I will draw this out. You'll see this from time to time. You look for an up thrust. You look for a symmetrical triangle. Well, this is not really symmetrical. You'll have a break to the downside. It'll consolidate, move to the upside, then go sideways. Then it'll break out. I call it a gooseneck pattern. You see it all the time. It's all over the place. If you look for it, it's really all over the place. And I'm always a little scared of the gooseneck pattern because it does happen so often. So I would like this to break out. I really would like to buy this. I'm probably not going to do it before I go to bed. It's probably going to break out in the middle of the night. So I'll probably have to do some kind of a higher buy order, which gets me in at a more risky level. But yeah, so let's go to dollar. Your question, Pete, was about a potential target. So against the dollar, it's still under this 200 period moving average. And what was I looking at? Is this Binance? I was looking at another exchange where the U.S. dollar didn't look quite as good. Was it? Where is it? I don't even see. Was it Bittrex? Yeah, it's Bittrex. The volume wasn't nearly as good. Anyway, looking at it, the volume here has been increasing on Binance and against the U.S. dollar. You see it's good. So we'll just stick to the Binance chart. I don't really have a definitive target right now, Arpete. I would like it to get up. Well, I guess I should do a box here more than a general brush. There's an area right here that I think would be pretty healthy. Anywhere in this area right there, kind of this little area coinciding with this area over here would be fairly healthy. If you want to take a measured move off of this, which is probably the most likely scenario, as tends to happen. You're looking right in the middle of that price target, about the 25.71 level is as a potential target. Now, that's fairly aggressive. It may not quite get there, but let's go against Bitcoin. I'm really looking against Bitcoin. So that really gets us up to the 3,300 Satoshi level, something like that. If it can get going, the volume's pretty good. It's only 16%. It's not a huge move, but maybe it can sustain if Bitcoin stays bullish. So we'll have to wait and see there. But yeah, I'm really liking ADA and the fact that it's breaking over this 200 period moving average. I'm really liking the trends that this gives. I'd much rather trade for a longer term trend than just for an arbitrary pop. It looks like it's moving up a little bit right here. Let's go down to the 15 minutes, see what's going on. Yeah, still getting those higher lows, man. This thing looks like it's ready to pop. Pop already. We all need to watch for the next altcoin to run for no reason in a choppy market like GNT and CMT. So those are difficult. Both of those were choppy. Both of those were pretty choppy, and they recently moved. So let's kind of analyze that a little bit. Here's CMT. Here's CMT, and it was pretty choppy all the way up. There was a rising wedge actually. There was a rising wedge here, and usually these are resolved to the downside. This one happened to resolve to the upside. So it's really difficult to catch these and know which ones are going to run. That's kind of why you have the diversified portfolio strategy where, and we don't really talk about that too much actually. We probably should talk about that more in the power hour. I guess I'll kind of mention my power hour. I wasn't really trying to plug much tonight. But we really should discuss that more in the power hour about kind of position sizing and things of that nature. Everyone trades differently. There was someone earlier that was trading GNT with their full account and did 9% today, which was pretty good. But generally, that's not something that should happen. You should have your position sizes accordingly. And if something's working or continuing to work, or in this case, respecting this 200 period moving average, which I was referring to earlier, you should have a couple of coins that are doing this because you never know the ones that are going to. You never know the ones that are going to run like this counter to Bitcoin until it's like halfway through the move. So either you identify it, excuse me, either you identify it super early and then you just have to have faith that it's going to continue, or you have to be involved earlier in the trend. But I mean, come on, GNT kind of made its name known up here more recently, but it's been pretty dead for a long time. No one's been talking about GNT. I mean, not even really on this run up here. We were so busy talking about other things. But, I mean, GNT's been dead for a long time. This was very difficult to call, like, back here, right? And we did look at it once or twice. I do remember looking at it, but it was just so choppy. All right, B-Dub, have a good night, my friend. Yeah, shout out to Bob for that GNT call. You here, Bob? Not sure if Bob's here. Nano, getting a couple calls there for Nano. Let's go ahead and take a look at some NANO. Looks like Nano's been taken back to the woodshed. We haven't looked at Nano in a while, so that thing's really, really thick. All right, so I did call the breakout on CMT during the power hour. I call a lot of breakouts. Let's see where we were at over here. Yeah, we did look at this. I mean, we were on top of CMT for the most part. I mean, I think we caught the radar. We caught the all-time high over here, which also coincided with this breakout right here. You can see there. But you know, it was generally choppy. This would have been a difficult one, you know, to hold. I didn't really partake in CMT much. I did a little bit. I traded this one a little bit, not too much though. But yeah, it worked, man. If you can, yeah, if you can hold on to coins for a while, if you're this patient, then stuff pays off sometimes. But it's also difficult. You made 20% off of it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I don't remember all my calls, R. Pete. I go back and forth on some of my analysis sometimes, but I tend to be able to focus. I'll go back to Nano. Um, I sometimes have chat Tourette's where I skip around. I skip around sometimes. I didn't want to get too far from CMT, but um, anyway, I'll take your word for it there, R. Pete. I'll take your word for it. But I really get a focus during the power hour. That's good for me. All right, yeah, so no, I do want to talk about Nano. Nano actually not looking super horrible. I wish it had more volume, but let's take a look. So we're under the 200-day, 200 period moving average here. Nano's had two runs, had this run here, had this run here. Other than that, it's been kind of a bust, really, to be honest with you. And living it in all-time lows, generally not good. That's generally not a good thing. When a coin is living at lows, you typically want to avoid it. Reason being, and I'm not really fudding up on you here, I want to bring up the antithesis of what Nano is doing is V-Chain. So let's go to the daily on V-Chain. So V-Chain ICO'd, ran up, and has had a tremendous strength up here, holding, I think it came back to the 61% retracement level. And so this only retraced 61% after a huge run up. There's a lot of demand for VeChain. Look at the volume. Look at the support down here. You got this huge volume candle right in the middle, right there, putting in that bottom. I mean, VeChain is very, very strong, versus this is the complete opposite of that, is Nano. So generally you want to avoid things at the lows. So that being said, this most recent action, not the worst in the world, to be quite frank with you. If we can stay healthy down here and put in some nice sideways action, there may be something for a bounce, but it's going to take a while for it to play out. And the last time this thing crossed my 200 period moving average here, yeah, it's pretty dead. It's pretty dead. But you know, I've seen some coins come back from the dead in cryptos with gusto, but it's not very often, and it's usually much later than this situation. Usually end up going sideways for a while. So if this does really get going, it probably won't get going for a number of weeks, but it can get going. Peter, you've been holding VeChain since the Binance listing? You joking? That's awesome. Good for you. Only up 2,700%. Very nice. We have not looked at EOS. We'll go ahead and look at EOS. But yeah, so, you know, living at the lows, not good. One bull flag does not make a bull market. I will say that as well. So you have one pop here. This is what I call the first pop. You never buy the first pop. You always want to buy it on the breakout of the first pop. So if this breaks out on good volume, and the volume over here is halfway decent. It's not horrible volume, but there is a big sell candle here. There's still some distribution left. I don't know why Nano is so beaten down. I really don't. I don't know too much about the coin. I don't know too much about it, but Look, if you want to take it for a trade over this bull flag, not too mad at you. You may want to sell, though, as it gets up towards this 200 period moving average. But just a word of advice, try to avoid coins living at all-time lows. Generally, it doesn't work out more than it does work out. Statistically, it's a bad trade. Okay, let's take a look at EOS there. So there's VeChain, speaking of which. All right, we'll look at US dollar generally is what people want to look at. Yeah, so EOS had that security flaw which caused this most recent route to the downside. You know, this right here I think was all due to the security flaw. This was probably due to people selling before people knew about it, and then this was selling after people knew about it. Subsequently coming back, which is pretty good, we have a trend line that held right here. We were discussing this. If it breaks this, that's probably not a good sign. We do have higher lows overall. We know the token swap is coming up. We thought we would get a bounce out of that, but that's happening in 2 days, and that hasn't happened yet. So I don't know. Usually these things like to run for about a week, at least for about a week before the launches, and it just hasn't happened. It just hasn't happened. So I don't know if we're going to get that pump to the upside. My water's running low. Excuse me. All right, so very choppy action down here. This is probably your line in the sand, also kind of coinciding with my 200 period moving average here on my 2-hour chart. Come on. There we go. So this is probably the line of, this is probably the do or die line, at least right now for EOS. And this level is 1288, give or take, right? Give or take. It's not exact. Maybe let's give dry throat lately, guys. It really sucks for a guy that talks on the mic a lot. 1275. Let's just say 1275. That's kind of the do or die line for EOS right now. We have this 200 period moving average, which I really enjoy on my 2-hour charts, giving us a top here and a top here. If we can break this and then break this, I think you're good to go here. You know, I think you're good to go here. But, you know, until then, you're going to have to give yourself a stop loss of this 1167 level. But yeah, I would just wait this out. If volume can get really dry and go sideways, as we've caught in the power hour, you know, only a couple of times. It's only for an hour, hour and a half usually. It's only for an hour during the day, and we've caught 3 or 4 really excellent breakouts in real time, maybe 5 or 6 by now. There was 1, 2, 3, Bitcoin twice. So yeah, 6. We caught 6 really good breakouts in real time. The Bitcoin one failed later in the day, but that's another point. But if you can get some nice sideways action here with the volume declining, staying green like this, that would be really cool. And then Strata, what's up, Strata? Request a stock, HDFC Bank. Is that a U.S. stock? Let's take a look. HDFC. There's my big note to myself. HDFC. Oh, come on. That's not what I'm trying to do. HDFCX? I don't know if that's the bank you're looking for there, buddy. Yeah, not sure about... I don't know much about that, my friend. Look it up on TradingView. All right. HDFC Bank in the Canadian, I'm assuming. NSE HDFC. What the heck is this thing? This is going up like a mofo. This thing's way extended. I'm actually going to pull a weekly here. Oh, our Pete, looks like our Pete's keeping better records than I am. 20% calls during the power hour. ZIL, ONT, WAN, BT twice, ADA multiple 5 to 10%. Nice. Yeah, so this thing is extraordinarily extended right now. Not to say it won't continue, because runs can continue until they don't. But the general rule of thumb is you don't want to buy a stock after the first or second stage base. It becomes more risky, and they're more likely to have a pullback. And you know, this goes for this goes for some coins as well. But they tend to run after about 3 to 4 bases on the smaller term time frame. So I'm trying to see if we have a reset of the base count. This is so far extended right now, it's ridiculous. So I guess we did undercut here, so this would start our base count. We don't do a lot of base counts, guys. I'm not going to go too deep into it right now. But we got kind of, we got here, we got 6%, 18%. Okay, so there's a base there, went up 50%. And then you've got, okay, you're only up 2% here. So this is still in a buy zone. Technically, this actually looks like a second stage base. It looks like the base reset over here. And this technically looks like a second stage base, even though it's been up so, I mean, crazy amounts. Oh, that's back to 19.9. Holy crap. I didn't notice it there. I guess I do have a weekly chart up. 100 back here in 2016. Now it's 1,000. Okay, apparently my stream just paused. Okay, so this is still within a buy range. Let's go back to the daily chart. I needed to get my bearings here. Sometimes it takes a while to analyze something I first looked at. Looks like a cup with no handle or a high handle with a gap now. Good volume. A lot of volume here at the peak. Yeah, this looks pretty good. It's still within a buy zone. So this is your buy point. You're up 3.8%. Still within a buy range. Things look pretty good here. I love that candle. That's beautiful. That's pretty good too. That thing's gorgeous. That's beautiful right there. Yeah, I would say I like this thing. I would say I like it. Generally, stocks run up about 20%. And so you may want to take profits after 20% from the buy point, 20 to 25%. Sorry this is taking a while, guys. I know a lot of you guys aren't stock people, but so 20% is about the 2400 level, give or take, up to the 2550 level, give or take. So you have a profit-taking zone up there, but overall, it looks pretty good. I would say technically it's probably a second stage base, maybe a third without digging down too much deeper, and not a bad one. Not a bad one. Still within a buy range. So you can usually buy stocks up to 5% out of a base without too much fanfare. And your stop here, we haven't talked about a stop, will probably be down here at about the 1950 level. That would give you about a 7% stop loss, 6.5% stop loss. Not a bad one there. Metal BTC. Actually, no, AE. I think I missed the AE call. Or Pete asked about AE. All right, let's go to AE BTC. So AE is the one we've been hawking in the power hour since about a month now. We traded it a couple of times. It changed its pattern 3 times. We've been following the change in the power hour. And yeah, so, but it's not moving yet, but we're still watching it. We don't want to lose track of these things, guys. Huge cup with handle. Big, beautiful cup. Big, beautiful handle. Gotta love the BBPs, big, beautiful patterns. And this is gorgeous. So keeping an eye on this. Nothing yet. Just got to be patient, guys. I've got my alert set right here at the 43,008 level is where my alert set. All right, that may be aggressive, but I do kind of want to be aggressive. Volume has dried up considerably on AE, so it's only a matter of time, I think, before something happens. Hopefully it's to the upside. What's my plan for real stocks? Is the idea still alive for your second channel? Yeah, it's still alive. I've been extremely busy, and in some cases a little lazy, to be quite frank with you guys. I am getting married. I have some work outside of cryptos that I'm doing as well that just picked up. And every time I do a real stocks video, it ends up being like 30, 40 minutes long, and nobody wants to watch that. And I have a hard time condensing them because there's so much to talk about in stocks. There's so much to talk about. But yeah, no, real stocks is still a thing. Everybody wanted my next video to be about how to get started in stocks, and that's something I just haven't spent the time doing, to be honest with you. I do want to do that. Real stocks was my initial channel that I wanted to do. I didn't call it real stocks, so I started that after real crypto. Crypto just kind of gave me the lead into talking about finances, which is a big general finance is a big passion of mine. Personal finance, investing. When I was 18 years old, I'm like, you know what? If nothing else, if I'm good at money, I'll be able to do whatever I want to do. And so that's kind of been my general thesis around life. But yes, real stocks will eventually be a thing. I just need to get my ass on it. Thoughts on playing the ascending triangle pattern of 80 overnight stop loss on the bottom of the trend line? I don't know if I put a stop loss at the bottom of the trend line. So there's a couple of things going on here. So that's your breakout point right there, your breakout point. Your stop loss, well, it's probably going to be really deep here. Yeah, your stop loss is really down here towards the 7.5% level, which is about 1965-ish, something like that. That's your ultimate stop loss. Now, that's a little too deep. I really don't like that stop loss, just due to the percentage. So if you want to give it like 4 to 5% from this level, and that's from this, that's not even from a breakout point, that could be warranted. We recently saw, I think, was it VeChain? We saw this. Yeah, so this never broke out, but we were looking for something similar. The volume pattern wasn't as good as it is in ADA. We were looking for a breakout in Venn that never happened. So this is why you don't buy prematurely. There was kind of this pattern here. It's not nearly as good as ADA's, but this is why you don't buy prematurely. And it rolled over, but you know, it can break out and roll over too. I can't think of a specific example right now, but this is much healthier, I think, than VeChain's was. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going a little longer than I thought it was. I'm going to refill my water. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, I'm back. Don't even think I muted my mic, did I? Nope, didn't mute my mic. I'm back. All right, thanks for staying with me. Oh, a bunch of people when I get water. 7 people left because I got water. Look at that. Greedy, greedy people. Go on a live stream and you walk away when I'm thirsty. All right, let's get to some of these altcoins so I can go to bed. Go to bed. AE. Okay, what are your plans for real stocks? AE. Thoughts on the triangle pattern of ADA stop loss? Yep, waiting on AE patiently. That's the name of the game, is patience. Metal BTC. Okay. Let's do some metal. Man. I don't like that. Like, just look at this thing. This is not good. Just don't do it. Trade something else. Why? Why would you do this? Look at this. Look at this thing. It's just, all right, let's run. Nope. All right, let's run. Nope. Let's run. Nope. 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 Oh, this one worked. Here's a little base that worked. Nope. Didn't work. 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 What's this one going to do? There's my technical analysis. So, yeah, very interesting there. Very interesting. Yeah, there's a semblance of a bull flag here, but the volume is just all over the place. I would just avoid this thing, man. It's definitely definitely not a high quality coin. There's not much going on about metal. I used to know what it does, or I'm not quite sure anymore. But why would you trade this? This is not a high quality coin. So yeah, just avoid. I would just avoid that. I would just avoid that coin altogether. Theta. Ooh yeah, Theta. Oh, look at ADA. May want to start doing something. Let's go to 15-minute chart in ADA. See if this thing gets some volume coming in here. Nice little bull flag setup here. Look at that. That's different. That's a bit of a change in behavior. We haven't really had a bull flag up here. We're going to break out of this thing here really, really soon. Really, really soon. Look at that volume. That's all accumulation right there. Guys, you may get an extreme stream real-time buy, which may work. Bitcoin's moving, which is probably why ADA's popping up here too. 88. Oop. Just freaking closed my tab. That's not good. Oh, Bitcoin broke over that high right there. That's news. That's definitely news. Yeah, Bitcoin popping up there on what's the volume doing? See if ADA can break out too. Oh, ADA just broke out right there. Get that ADA, guys. Get that ADA. We got an extreme stream buy. All right. Hopefully this doesn't fake us out. Look at that volume right there, guys, in the 1 minute chart. That's a 1 minute chart. It's not too bad. Let's go to a 15-minute chart. Looks like it just started. 1 minute left in this 15-minute candle, so it's not going to be too aggressive on the volume right now. Maybe a 5-minute chart would do us a little better, or a 3-minute chart right here. Volume not tremendous. So my 15-minute chart on Bitcoin on my other screen here, let's go to 5-minute on Bitcoin. About the same volume as what popped us earlier, about the same volume. So we had 2 legs previous yesterday. Yeah, 529. We had 2 legs previous yesterday, 2 legs today. We'll see if we get a third. We do have a higher high, however, in Bitcoin, which is abnormal for the most recent behavior. We haven't had that yet. That is a change. That actually may change the story. Doesn't have to, but it may. You can see right there we have a declining trend line. Ooh, I actually didn't notice that. Should have noticed that earlier. ADA Bitcoin not moving. That's because ADA is moving on the US dollar with it's moving the same amount as Bitcoin. That's why the ADA Bitcoin's not moving. It's a bit of a shame when that happens. It may try though. We'll see. It may try, but let's go out to the 2-hour. Why would a GNT do? Did it drop? It's dropping. Volume's low, still could bounce back. Nothing crazy going on there. But yeah, I don't like that railroad tracks. Don't like railroad tracks. Muy no bueno. No bueno. There you go. That's my trend. That's my call, right, guys? No bueno. They want that to be my tagline. No bueno. All right, come on, ADA, do something. Even if Bitcoin, just flounders around here for the next several hours, you could still get some nice altcoin runs off of that pop, as we're seeing right there in ADA. I'm gonna take metal off my screen because that's not healthy. That's not healthy. All right, Theta. We're talking about Theta. We got Theta Bitcoin here. Yeah, so Theta just, someone mentioned they had Theta 4 months ago. Not the hype is gone, or now, I'm assuming you mean now the hype is gone, but I believe in Nebulous and Swarm tokens are next. Do I know them? I've seen Swarm around, I've seen Nebulas around. I haven't looked too much into their story, but not like it really matters, to be honest with you. So Bitcoin pulling back a little bit. Could be good for an entry if you want to get in there. A little bit of a pullback here on some normal volume. But there is a bit of change in behavior in Bitcoin. The fact that we broke this trend line and we have a higher high. So possibility BNB getting pumped too. Now we're doing some overnight stuff. Oh, come on. Oh, snap. There we go on the USD. I'm assuming that BTC. Oh, there we go on BTC, guys. That's a good one right there. So your breakout point was actually a little bit lower. Just broke out earlier. Right there. There's your buy point. We discussed that. You bought a little BNB. Oh, there's my alert. That's an older alert too. That's not even a newer alert. I didn't lower my alert. It's probably going to get triggered here pretty soon. Yep, you can. Yeah, we discussed this in the power hour too. The touching of this trend line, and the possibility of making a defensive buy off of these trend lines. And then you have a nice move like that. Yeah, this was your best buy right about here. Yeah, it seems a little too late to buy BNB. It may be. Well, it's probably getting to the point where it's too late. So you're probably only up, yeah, about 5%. So it's getting to that point. It's not quite out of range yet. Not quite out of range yet. This is a nice consolidation, guys, against the Bitcoin. There it is. There's the level. Actually, it's right at that level. This is the one. This is the level I remember discussing now. This is the level where if we break this in BTC, we could potentially see clear skies ahead. This is going all the way back here until January. So this is a really big cup and handle in BNB. Really big cup and handle, or base on base, depending on which way you wanna do that. But we need some better volume to come in here. But it's a very, very good chart pattern. We talked about these scallops, and we were discussing this kind of living higher like this is healthy. Sideways consolidation. So very, very good right there. Are we hitting my we're hitting my alert? I'm gonna get triggered on my alert here pretty soon. Make sure my volume's down. And OX will be super bullish. That's a ZE something, isn't it? No, it's not ZE, it's XE. I don't remember. Nope. Is that the alert? Yep, just got triggered on BNB. Just got triggered on BNB. Where's District X? ZRX. I always get that confused with the other one. Wow. Not a big fan of those huge wicks in ZRX. It's gonna take some convincing for me to get involved back in this thing. Out of those huge, look at that volume right there on both of those wicks, guys. That's a lot of selling. I would just avoid this for right now. It needs to get over this trend line, or we need to have some very, very definitive sideways action, healthy action. Not getting that so far. I would avoid that there. Jose, do you know the theory of every 6th of the month we have a big action on prices up or down? I have seen that. Someone mentioned that a live stream or two ago, and it looks like it works in Bitcoin pretty well. So 7 days left to go. We'll see how that happens. So Bitcoin generally, especially most recently when we're in these lower consolidations, because we're still in a consolidation point. I mean, keep that in mind. Let's take the broader view here. People tend to zoom in their charts when generally you should keep your chart zoomed out. This is still a choppy area, just as much as this was a choppy area here. So we're more than likely going to pop up and come down and do a couple of things. It's probably not going to just move straight out from here. Yeah, we're going to get a couple of moves, but it's probably gonna come back down a little bit here. So it's going to chop around. Could chop around for a week for the 6th there. You never know. Chance for 6. I absolutely believe there's a chance for 6K. We can silence that alert. There we go. Yeah, I think there's a chance for 6K. I do think there's a chance that this market continues much lower than that, to be quite frank with you. Yeah, I don't want to go too deep into the analysis of that. Yeah, I guess I'll go a little bit into it here. All right, so that's the ZRX chart. What's ADA doing? What's ADA doing? Let's check out that 15-minute, see what's what. A bit of a high volume sell candle up here. Not a huge fan of that, but we'll see if we can still haven't quite passed this prior high. So there's always a yeah, there's always a risk unless you get over the prior high of it resting and pulling back. So, but I mean overall this is very bullish action, continually curling up, you know, curl, flat, bull flag, bit of a breakout there. What's your break even there, Hulk? I want to break even and get into Tether also. And so Hulk likes green charts. I missed the rest of your name there. That's pretty funny. So that's the general thesis with traders. Traders get into a position, they hold on to it, they get sucked into hodling, or they get sucked into, or sometimes it's just psychological. There's no like necessarily crazy rationale for it. But what happens is they buy something, they don't set a stop loss, they end up deeper underwater than they want to be, and they wait for the price to rise, and then they sell it. And that's what's happening here in ADA. That's what's happening here. Someone, you know, is waiting for higher prices, and then they sell. And that's why you have to wait for these breakouts, right? That's what the breakouts get you. The breakouts get you the understanding, or at least more than likely an understanding, that most of the sellers have finally stepped aside. I feel like I missed a question somewhere. What was that? Do I have a tip with CryptoLink? I do have a tip with CryptoLink. It's actually outdated. I probably should update that. It should be in my description. Yeah, it's in my description there. My Bitcoin wallet actually, and I need to update that. Actually, I can do that real quick. But yeah, it should be in the description of the video. I'm gonna update it real quick. All right. Yeah, stream's doing good. Yeah, so it's in the description of the video there. If you are interested in tipping, thank you very much. If you do want to do that, that's always appreciated. If you do like my content, please do consider my power hour that we do every single day from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., sometimes a little bit afterwards or even a lot afterwards. Go to our website, real-crypto.com, click on Power Hour. It is $50 a month, but we do live stream every single day. And I'm gonna put together a greatest hits of the Power Hour because we've had some good stuff going on. And that's a lot of fun. Every session is recorded and available to members at any time. So you can feel free to go back and watch all of your favorite episodes of the Power Hour, whatever that may be. So, all right, if we break above 8K, it looks like we will get into the same bear pattern, but in bigger scale. But in a bigger scale. 8K. If we cross 8K. Craig, you missed a whole darn hour. Well, you should be able to rewind it. All right, looks like I missed an ARN chart here by Spike. What's up, Spike? Spike, pretty spiky. Look at that, BNB looking pretty good. Wish volume was a little healthier though. That's the thing with most of these is sometimes the volume is lacking, which kind of ruins the chart there. 9K. All right, let's look at ARN BTC. Okay, ARN doing some stuff here. Okay, let me zoom out. I don't think I haven't looked at ARN in. Oh, we looked at ARN in the Power Hour. And it's curling again. We looked at it on this like fourth touch of this super strange pattern that it has going on here. This very, very long pattern. Yeah, where were we looking at this? I think it was right on that bull flag. We talked about this 200 period moving average. I never set an alert, so I kind of lost it. But I believe we talked about that trend line breaking because we had a bull flag. The volume accelerated. I'm not sure what that's about. I'm not a huge fan when volume does weird stuff out of nowhere. But it looks like it's on its way back up to that trend line, guys. It loves that trend line. If you want yourself 20% in a week or two, that may be a pretty good way to do it. Pretty good way to get it. Can't speak. It's too late. Too late. But yeah, are not too bad. Are not too bad. We did talk about it. It can chop on the way up. You can see here. You can see here. It looks like. See, the volume is really weird on this one. Gets really heavy here, and then super weak, and then heavy there, and heavy there, and weak and weak and weak, and heavy there, and then it gets weak again. And then it does this. Like I don't know why this. I don't know why this occurs. Does the float change? Like what's the rationale behind that? But so right now, most recently, it's up about 5%. It's just out of the buy range. So if it'll pull back a little bit, that'll be fine. Give you, 20% to a 5% to the downside, about a 4-to-1 risk reward. Not too bad. Not too bad, but not too good. So again, you maybe have an expectation of it chops around, but this one took a while before it broke this. It broke this moving average, and then it took 11 days to get up to that, you know, what was that, 30%? 50%, so that's pretty good. What's up, 1337 Gomri? How you doing? Yeah, I'm up late. I gotta go to bed so I can do the actual power hour. DataDash did a video recently why you see weird volume like that. Maybe an actual reason to watch a DataDash video then. That's pretty good. I'll have to check that out. Was that the title, or am I going to have to search through a bunch of his stuff? I can imagine these would probably be due to hourly constraints, maybe like more popular in Asia than the US or something like that. But I'm not sure why it gets big like this. Probably a float change, or they don't really split, so I'm not sure why it just does that. Let's take a look at Poly. I'm going to get out of here in a couple minutes, guys. Hit the sack, go to bed. All right, so Poly, not really trending extraordinarily well. So I'm not a huge fan of that. Market manipulation on that just goes to reason why I don't like those charts and generally won't trade them. So yeah, they're probably some kind of attack on the network, or trying to manipulate, like you said, manipulate the charts into doing something they want it to do. And I'm not interested in participating in those games. You won't be able to sleep with ADA licking the breakout point. Yeah, I know, right? I'm probably going to, though. So, Poly pulling back down to this breakout point right here, chopping around this 200 period moving average on my 2 hour. Not a big fan of that. Chopping around. I don't like this big sell candle here. There's definitely a trend line right here. Potential for a weird head and shoulders, which would not be good. So I would probably avoid Poly for right now. Look for some bull flags, not coins that are kind of breaking down. Now, like I said, this does look like it's breaking down a little bit. I would probably try to wait until this thing can get back up here, definitively above this 200 period moving average. I'm more of a swing trader. I don't like to trade for pops. I like to trade for moves, which is why I'm kind of interested in ADA here. I actually already took a position on that breakout of Bitcoin. If you guys heard a ding, that's what that was about. But yeah, I'd much more be interested in ADA that has, you know, a bull flag type of a pattern than I would something that like Poly is just kind of headed lower. I'm more interested in bullish chart patterns showing bullish action. Jose, the G20 will meet in July. Could that be the last nail for us to hit the bottom? No, probably not. Generally, bottoms are never done off of news. The G20 does not trade in Bitcoin, so they will not cause the bottom. Don't look for events for anything except for opportunities to sell things. Any chance of a summary of the market? Summary of the market. I don't know how I would sum it up. So I guess yeah, so I think you have to sum the market up by Bitcoin. I mean, this is generally the sum of the market. It's Bitcoin, right? So let's go back out here to the daily. And now my chart's going to freeze on me. So I'm going to get out of here after this guys. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to do here on the Extreme Stream. And you guys can join me every single day in the Power Hour. It is in the morning, but again, the videos are recorded. And if you guys have any questions, you can feel free to email me, and I will either respond in the email or I will respond in the Power Hour, which I do from time to time. And that's Coinigy killing my JavaScript. All right, here we go. So the overall market is this. We're in a bear market, okay? Even if this is the bottom, we're still in the bear market, you know, or we're in the choppy phase directly after the bottom, but it's highly unlikely this is the bottom. It's extraordinarily unlikely. You take a look at some, and I believe our friend Christina is not here with us right now, but Christina pointed out, and very poignantly, that we have Bitstamp, US dollar. On the weekly chart, we have this 50 moving average here. And I think this is probably a pretty good view of the market, and probably something that I've been missing is a moving average. And okay, and there's RSI here too. So I actually just recorded a video about this, but I haven't put it out yet because it sucks and needs to be edited. So this 50 period moving average does not get, there's been some talk by some people that were in this market cycle right here versus this market cycle right here. Okay? There's been some talk about that. Now this market cycle, we never came close to breaching this 50 period moving average, but in this one we did breach it. We breached it here briefly and here very, very well. Well, right now we're testing, actually we're already underneath of this 50 period moving average. You can see it right there. So we're already underneath of it. If we go any lower than this most recent low, I think the market is done, and we're gonna go into that situation like you saw in my last video, where we're going to be living below this trend line for the foreseeable future. So more than likely that is the scenario in my mind. However, I'm completely open to the opportunity that we move higher from here. We come up here, have a lower high, and then have a higher low, and then bounce out of that, and then this 10,000 level is going to be our level of support or resistance most recently. But BNB just broke 18K. There you go. Yeah, that's a major resistance line right there. Yeah, good volume in BNB. This thing could maintain for a while, guys. This could be a great swing trade if this keeps going. Now, what I was just discussing on Bitcoin is strictly the Bitcoin chart. If you look at a lot of the altcoin charts, they're at points right now that they need to hold. So, oh, what else just triggered? Oh, my ADA alert just triggered. There you go. Bam. ADA triggered. Where's my... All right, now I'm not going to be able to sleep. Now I'm not going to be able to sleep. Pete, you're welcome, my friend. You said you're going away for a few days. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. But yeah, so if you look at the overall cryptocurrency market, we're in a lot of these coins that are kind of near levels that really need to hold. So we've got Ethereum. Oh, come on, it's going to freeze on me again. That's ridiculous. Okay, so here's Bitcoin on the GX. We got Bitcoin that's near a level that needs to hold. We've got Ethereum that's near a level that it needs to hold. We've got Litecoin that's near a level that it really needs to hold. It needs to hold this 110. You know, and all these are going to break up or break down. Bitcoin Cash is a little bit of a different story. It doesn't have as much history, right? But it's kind of in that same situation. Looks like it's got a very similar trend line there. May as well hang out together, Ian. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I just need to put a stop loss and I'll be fine. The power evening, the power 24 hours, right? ZRX, it is alive, really? we'll take a look at that in a minute. Hey, my BitMEX ADA are already up 15%. That's pretty good. Yeah, I wanted to buy earlier, but I was doing the stream. But it's all good because I wouldn't have got into ADA if I wasn't here. So thank you, R. Pete. Goes both ways, my friend. $100 for a 24-hour power hour. Someone told me I should charge $100 for the power hour. Sheesh. I don't know if I'd. I think a lot of my people don't make that much money, so $50 may be a good range there for the more general public to partake. Yeah, I've thought about raising the price for new members, but I'm okay for now. What's the second moving average I use along with the 200 period? You know, on the 2-hour chart that I like to live on, it's pretty much, I have the 50 period up here as well, but I don't use it as much. It's not respected nearly as well as that 200 period. It's just really, it just gets chopped up a lot. You can see here, it gets chopped up, this 50 period. So I don't use it nearly as much. If it's respected, I'll take a look at it. But generally, this 200 period really catches these big swings. You can see as the markets change. As the markets change, it kind of goes with it. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the all-nighter. I actually have to drive like 45 miles tomorrow to a client's house that needs some service on his house that I promised I'd do for like a week and a half and haven't done yet. So I've got to go get that done for him. Yeah, if you guys ever need to buy speakers or audio video equipment receivers, let me know. Probably going to open up an online shop for that. Yeah, so some of these altcoins are, man, I don't know what's going on with that stupid thing. But all these altcoins are near levels where they really need to hold or things are going to get really bad. And the declining volume really leads me to the point that I don't know how much upside we have. I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. Not exactly sure how that's going to work out. You know, we need a good amount of volume to really bring us higher. And if we don't get that volume, we don't get those big volume kicks, and I think it's going to be it's going to be a rollover. What's my target range for 88 on this move, and is it too late to buy? So I don't have a target range, but there's a general trend line here that takes us up to this, you know, kind of 26-cent level, something like that. There's a measured move here that gets us up to there. Also coinciding with this prior high, that could be a pretty decent level, as long as you know, everything stays healthy. If Bitcoin goes sideways, we could see that in the next little bit here. Looks like 88 looks like it's pulling back a little bit right here, so you could have a potential place to get in. Could come up and retest this trend line here. So let's zoom out a little bit here. So a test of the breakout point. So there's a couple breakout points here. They're all at about the same level. You can see this volume recently coming in and us selling off here. So that's not super bueno. Big volume sell candle there. That I'm not super happy with. I like that. I don't like that. Not a massive fan of that. I think it's all probably predicated on what Bitcoin's doing. What is Bitcoin doing? hanging out. Market looks bullish all of a sudden. Yeah, a little more bullish than it did a little bit ago. Not super bullish though. ADA sell wall on Binance. Let's take a peek. There's a 22 million. There's a 38 million sell at 21.5. Here we go. Yeah, so my stop loss for ADA is going to be pretty much down here near the 21 level, 21 cent level. If you want to give it a little more, you can, and probably maybe to this 20.7. Yeah, something like that. So that is 2066 is my, that's probably going to be my stop for ADA. Give it about 4.2%. Not a bad stop loss. Not a bad stop loss at all. At least from here, where was my entry? What? Oh, there we go. My entry was 21489. It's a little lower. Right about there is where I got in. So it's about a 4%, 3.5% stop loss. I think that's probably going to be a better stop. Yeah, so far so good. Okay, my chart's out of whack here. So I don't get a choice on my volume? Come on. Thoughts on VeChain? Go look at some VeChain. Let's look at some VeChain. Man, that's a thick candle. Thick, super thick. That's not even my 200. What am I doing here? How are those all of a sudden my default? That is not correct. That should not be my default. All right, there we go. Yeah, so VeChain, I think overall I like VeChain a lot. Here, at least here most recently from a technical perspective, there's a pretty well-defined trend line right here. Right there that kind of needs to be overcome. You can probably draw another one from that peak, but it's not. It's going to be a weirdly angled one, so not going to be as well formed. You have a potential for a reversal pattern here and a more recent trend line. Even that one's weird. And we're coming right up to that trend line if you want to get fairly aggressive here. 53 minutes left in this candle. You can see we're probably trying to break out a potential for a decent volume candle here. The bottoming volume, not fantastic. That one's good. Yeah, VeChain, if VeChain can get going here, if it can get above this trend line, maybe you'll have an opportunity. Pretty good stop here at about 4% to the 4,400 Satoshi level. So I'm not mad at an entry here at all on VeChain, especially if the market stays bullish. VeChain probably will go up. Most everything's going to go up. In the end, you just have to know if Bitcoin's going up, it seems like a lot of times. But overall, I'm not really mad at an entry almost right now, but maybe let it get a little bit higher. Have it, get a little more momentum. Ideally, you'd like it to get above this 45,850 level. I think that would be ideal if you want to give it to there and then maybe pull the trigger if volume remains high. I think that would be good. Nexus chart, NXS. I don't know what that is. NEXUS. Oh, it is NXS. It's on Bittrex. Why aren't I getting an NXS chart? Oh, I'm on favorites. That could have saved us several seconds. Several seconds, guys. Several of them. Alright, looks like I'm going along in this stream. Oh, yeah, pretty big cup here. Pretty big cup formation. So there's your top. Looks like it's handling out. Trying to pop here. Trying to do something. I'm not too mad at Nexus at all. If we can get some volume, we have some nice, very tight volume here most recently. And decent increasing volume here on the right side of the chart. Overall, not mad. Yeah, not too bad here on Nexus. Your real breakout point is going to be here at this 37,000 Satoshi level. Your early breakout is going to be on a break of this trend line, possibly even a break of these highs at the 3409 level. What's up, Vlad? Vlad? Are you still around? Where have you been? What are you doing, Vlad? How you doing, buddy? Anything you want me to look at? Looking at NXS right now, I think a potential buy there at the 34,009 level, something like that. Why not, Vlad? Just a wrong time zone for you? All right. Well, enjoy, my friend. Thanks for being in here. Catch you in the chat room. Yeah. Time zone. Damn time zones. I think half the world should just be up overnight. And obviously, it's not my half of the world. Obviously, the other half of the world should be up overnight. Obviously, right? Yeah, that's going to happen. So, a little topping candle there on ADA. I'm not super happy about that. Let's go to the 1 minute, see if it's... see what that's about. Pretty much all happened in one candle. That was 9 minutes. So, yeah, maybe not so bearish that it happened all here and not... Like, if this was right at the top here, I'd be a little more concerned. But being that it happened down here towards the breakout, I'm not as concerned. I'm not as happy, obviously. And this isn't generally... this is a little mini bear flag, not super enthused about that. Craig, I'm glad you aren't one of those know-it-all YouTubers, Randy, even though we don't always agree. I always respect your opinion and tune in where I can. Thank you, Craig. But to disappoint you, I do know everything. I just want to put it out there, okay? I do know it all, Craig. I know everything. I know everything. Come on, ADA. You're killing me. Pulling into the breakout point so early. I was hoping you'd have a little bit more run in you. But no. No, you don't. You're not going to do that. You can't make it easy for us, ADA. Of course you can't do that. So it looks like right now it's at the close of these candles up here, kind of right in this support area. Should be support right now. We did break above it. The volume wasn't great though. And the volume came in at the top, so maybe it's not as happy as I want it to be. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't go sideways and then continue higher. We have seen that from time to time in a lot of coins, quite a few coins. And you got a little Bitcoin drop here, which is probably what ADA is selling off. So yeah, moving right in line with Bitcoin, doing everything Bitcoin does, pretty much following. BNB not quite breaking out from that 18 level. I have not looked into Morpheus in terms of supply chain logistics. Not quite. I'm not a big fan of the blockchains that are just like one thing. That's not my bag. We have seen Morpheus around though. That logo looks familiar. Hit BTC. I don't have an account there, but that's not a bad one. MORPH. Let's go take a peek at that. Is this a new one? Wow, yeah, this is brand freaking new. Just buy this thing. Just buy it. Maybe not. Okay, that looks better. That looks better. I wonder what kind of ICO this had. But there's definitely a nice little horizontal trend line right there. That's pretty good. Yeah, I really don't care anything about the coin, to be quite frank with you. It's probably a BS coin. It's gonna do nothing. And Binance lists many coins when the market is down. Do I realize that? No, I don't. I usually don't. I'm not as up to date on the Binance announcements as I should be. I do follow Binance on Twitter, but yeah, it's been a while. No, I haven't noticed that though. That's interesting. What's the IQ of China? A China tech stock. I want to look at a tech stock real quick. Still trying to find that stock that doesn't exist. But Jesus, that's crazy. Whoops. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Ooh, recent ICO. Oh, so this is the one I was charting. Oh, it hit the target. Son of a bitch. I was charting this one the other day and I lost track of it. Remember I talk? You guys, if you guys don't know this, I talk a lot about a lot of stuff in the Power Hour. I say this all the time. Never lose track of a coin. Never lose track of a stock. Lost track of this thing. Freaking up 10%, 11% with options. That would have been about 80%. Son of a bitch. Oh well. Yeah, I don't see any Binance coins popping out at me, some new ones. Now, when you mean market is down, Jose, are you referring to market's technically down, that the market is down, that Bitcoin is down in price, that the volume is down? What do you mean down? What's up, Suresh? Italy's helping a little with the pump. There's fear we go out of the Eurozone. What it will not happen, but people are panicked, so maybe it is the new Greek crypto hero. Possibly. You mean the volume is down? Okay. Not too mad at that candle right there. It's decent volume on ADA on this 15-minute time frame at least. Not too bad. Would I ever do an options course? I've been thinking about an options course, at least with my particular option strategy. There's hundreds of option strategies. Um, I could do an options strategy course on my specific strategy and give some kind of general rules of thumb, but it would not be a general, like a major general options chart, um, or options course. But I've thought about it. I've thought about doing it, maybe like a webinar or something like that, or even a series, or even starting a separate chat room for that, because that's its own beast. That's its own beast, and it's man, there's so much money in options. There's just so much money in options. There's a lot of volatility, um, a lot of risk involved with options. You have to be you have to be understanding of that. So yeah, I've thought about it. Yeah, I don't know if there's the market for it. Like my real stocks channel, I thought I would get like at least a thousand subscribers or so. I only got about, what's it at now? Like, and I've only done a few videos, keep in mind, but I've got 35,000 subscribers. You think I'd have a little more than, you know, where is it at? Yeah, 322 subscribers. So I don't know how much interest there is in the stock stuff. Um, But yeah, that would probably have to be its own separate chat room, to be honest with you, because that's very in depth. There's a lot of research that goes into those options positions. It is not for the faint of heart, and it's not something I would just willy nilly. All right, guys, here you go. You know. So I would probably have to do. I'd probably do like an introduction webinar just to describe it, and then we would probably do like another chat room about it, and it'd probably be another subscription based thing because it's just so time consuming. I mean, cryptos are kind of charting, but with options, I'm doing a lot of charting and I'm doing a lot of option stuff. But I mean, come on, I did 500% in my options in 6 months last year, um, and it's just I haven't seen a lot of great setups this year because the market's been so bullish. But once we get a little bit of a correction, which I thought we were going to get. Um, we had a couple of setups that we looked at and that we took. We had ONT. World that Shell didn't work out. I didn't really do a stop there, but um, yeah. So for instance, this now one. So this is my note. So I bought some options up here, and so this is how volatile options are. Just to give you a little bit of an intro. Okay, so I bought my option, I think, I don't remember the exact day, but I think it was here. Or was it here? I'll have to find out. But I bought my option one of these days, and it popped up, and I was up like 40%. And keep in mind, this is like a 4% move, right? This is like a 4% move, you know? So I was up like 40%, and then it caved. Oh, you sell now? Really? You actually sell now? That's funny. I didn't know that. So it caved, and my options tanked. Like down here was down 92%. My options were down 92%. I still held on to them. But I also bought more options. I bought more options down here. I actually telegraphed this, I think, in the power hour. I bought this live in the power hour. And then now we're here, and these options are down. Let me give you an accurate. But this is how crazy options are. They're crazy, man. They're crazy. Now, I made a mistake when I bought these options initially. I got a little too greedy. Okay, so my initial options are down, still down 84%. There's down 84%. And keep in mind, I'm almost break even, if not above where I bought them. And they're still down 84%. But the one I bought here is up 103%. So it's like, it's interesting. Options are interesting. They're extraordinarily volatile. So I'm not I'm not the type of an individual who will give people advice just to sell a course or something like that and then walk away. It's especially with options because it's so insane. And keep in mind that the percentage decrease here, 7%. There was a 7% decrease from the ultimate high to the ultimate low. And it literally murdered an options position. I'm down 84% in that one. Now, you know, I think we're gonna go higher here. We got supported at the 50-day. This action wasn't even bad, but it just got murdered. So yeah, don't be too mad at ADA there, RP. Don't be too mad at it. We talked about this large volume candle here. These sell bars aren't necessarily that aggressive, so we'll probably end up being up in time. Guys, it hasn't moved that much. You know, you guys, if you guys are scalping, that's one thing, but yeah, if you're scalping, that's one thing, but it really hasn't moved down that much. I mean, this is not bad. There's nothing bad here about this chart necessarily. There's trend lines still intact. You know, don't get so emotional with this stuff. Calm down. Calm down. You know, look at this. This trend line's not even broken. I bet you this trend line may be a little broken. Nope. Just touching this trend line. And I'm not going to count that as a valid trend line, but so yeah, just obey your stop loss and go about your business. All right. Come on. All right. When you come back Sunday, 20 cents. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty wide berth. I'd say if that fails, that's probably a pretty dead one there. Yeah, that's probably more than adequate. 20 cents. Smart. Yeah, let's take a look at Smart. So this looks like it's another one of those kind of living it lows. Maybe not all-time lows. All right, so there's that peak trend line right there, but that's pretty abrupt. I almost want to draw the other one next to the closes. That feels a little more honest. Yeah, this is not very healthy. I would not be interested in smart at this particular point in time. If you're looking at it, I think you mentioned. I'm not sure if Suresh mentioned smart. Someone mentioned smart. I would give it. Oops, 15-minute. I meant 2-hour. Yeah, I would definitely let it get back up to this 200 period moving average on the 2-hour or some other kind of moving averages, but I wouldn't just arbitrarily buy it. The volume declining here, lots of red. This is an avoid for me. So ZRX. Um, 7%. Wow. So ZRX is chopping around my 200 period moving average. Not the worst thing in the world, but I'm not a huge fan of these sell candles up here. We talked about ZRX earlier. I mentioned to avoid it, but then again, like I said then too, if Bitcoin runs, it's probably going to run just like most everything else will. So there's a number of trend lines here in ZRX. It's not that it's too late to enter. You just don't have a very well-defined entry area. Actually, that may be not a bad one right there. That may not be a super bad entry right there. So you've got these wicks to the upside, and you've got these body closes right here. If it can close above this, and you want to close above this on higher volume. If you close above this, then maybe you can go ahead and take a position in this. But your stop loss on ZRX now is pretty low, or high, I guess. I mean the percentage, about 6 or 7% to a stop loss right here, and it's really going to need to hold these levels in order to maintain its bullishness. And you can see here it's had a series of higher lows. So yeah, maybe a break of this trend line right here from this peak all the way down to these closes. Maybe something like that, but I don't think it's too late to enter. I don't think you arbitrarily have a great buy point. I don't think there's a great buy point. Maybe on the break of these lows down here, but that would have been really hard to get into. Come on. Yeah, up about 3% from that. So it's not the worst thing in the world, not the worst trade. It's not too bad. It's not too good either. It's kind of how I view that. That's a nice green candle. Go over your thoughts on the last hour for Bitcoin. Yeah, it's a good thing to do. Let's do that. Let's go back to the 2-hour. I guess we'll go to the 1-hour chart if we're looking about the last hour. Yeah, I like my 2-hour chart. I'll stay on my 2-hour chart. So here's the thing about Bitcoin right now. So there's a little bit of change in behavior. We're above this 200 period moving average. We were supported down here by it, which is good. That's bullish behavior. All right, that's bullish behavior. We made a higher high here, which is bullish behavior. Unfortunately, the volume is not really as strong as it could be. It definitely could be much stronger than this. So more than likely what's going to happen is we're probably going to go up a little higher here, and then we're probably going to fail at some point again. I really think we're going to have similar choppy action like we did here. I'm not necessarily telegraphing this big you know, jaunt to the upside here, this big, you know, dildo shape formation, but you know, I think we're gonna chop around. We're gonna have some fake outs to the upside and to the downside in both directions. Now, one of the main differences here is the volume is much lower than it was. That's not even the right trend line. What the hell? So the volume here is much lower than it was over here. The volume over here on the right side of the chart, and it's just getting weaker. It's getting weaker by the day. I mean, you can just see there generally it's getting weaker by the day. So I think overall, you know, we're in for some moves. You can almost take a measured move from this. You know, maybe we get that. Maybe we get something up like that to the 7,800 level, and this would not quite bring us up to this, which would put a lower high in place for sure. What's up, Christina? I'm going to get out of here shortly. I've been here for way too long. Yeah, so in the short term, I think we go higher. Over the next day or two, we're probably going to drift back lower. It's a choppy market right now, guys. It's a choppy market, and so it's just going to chop. Chop, 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 chop. Suresh. All right. 8:30 a.m. in the UK. Better start work. All right, my friend. I'll see you then. What's my view on DEX? Exchanges are quite ironic things in decentralized market, but can DEX have enough liquidity? You know, I actually heard about DEX today for the first time. Yeah, RP 30-minute extreme stream. Well, when the market starts moving, and then I take a position in ADA. Pretty highly leveraged one actually in BitMEX, which is probably the reason I'm still here. What was I talking about? This DEX thing. Yeah, this is not traded. I don't think DEX is traded. I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about it. In terms of liquidity, that's the big problem. And if you're an exchange, the only thing you want is liquidity. You're successful if you have liquidity. You're not successful if you don't. That's just how it works. So I don't know if it can. It's going to need definitely a big incentive program and a huge marketing campaign to pull people from Binance. Binance just has all the coins in it. I mean, we all know that. Binance has tons of coins in it. So, you know, we're really going to have to see if it can get the marketing power out there. You know, KuCoin you know, launched fairly successfully. I know they're not decentralized, but they are a newer exchange, and they did their whole KuCoin coin, and they're paying people like parts of commissions and doing they're basically buying orders, which is fine because Binance makes so much damn money that it doesn't matter. They can go ahead and buy those orders. And that's pretty much what they're doing, is that they're buying the love. These guys are going to have to do the same thing. They're going to have to buy the love too. All right, guys, I think I'm actually going to get out of here and go to sleep. I need to. I'll be useless tomorrow if I stay up much longer. And I got a bunch of stuff to do outside of crypto. So, lovely, lovely, lovely. All right, guys, thanks for joining me tonight. It's been a long stream. How long has it been? 2-hour stream. You got 400% more real crypto than you planned for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So thanks for sticking with me. See you guys later. Please join the Power Hour if you want to. If you don't want to, I'll catch you in the next stream. All right, guys. Have a good night.